Okay, HDR Multiscale, HDR meaning high dynamic range. Another great script from Seti Astro that's been ported over to Siril. This one will help you tame down those cores, whether it's a galaxy or a nebula, allowing you to reveal some hidden detail within those objects that maybe you didn't even know were there. So let's check it out. My name is Rich, and you're watching Deep Space Astro. Okay, to get started, we obviously need to install the script. So go up to Scripts and then Get Scripts. And you can either scroll through the list or just use a search bar here and type HDR. And we're looking for HDR Multiscale.py. Select it over on the right and then click Apply. And just verify that it did install. So we'll go up to Scripts, Python Scripts, Processing, and right there it is, HDR Multiscale. So this script is intended to be ran against images that you have already stretched, so non-linear images. What I have open here is the Bubble Nebula. I've already done a little bit of processing on it just for the video. Remove the stars, obviously, so it's a starless image. You don't need to remove the stars for the script. That's just part of my normal workflow. The only requirement for the script is that you have stretched your image. So we'll just jump right into it. With my image open, we're going to come up into Scripts, Python Scripts, Processing, and the HDR Multiscale. It will load your current image in the preview over here. As you can see, it's zoomed in pretty tight, so I can click my Fit to Preview and see the image. You have zoom in, zoom out buttons. You can use the scroll wheel on your mouse to zoom in and out as well. And left mouse button click will allow you to grab onto the image and just kind of drag it around and position it where you want. I'm just going to jump right into it and then we'll circle back and go over these settings. But just to show you guys how well this thing works, just with the default settings, I'm just going to go ahead and click preview, and that will generate the HDR for us, show us a preview over here in our window, and then we can decide whether or not we want to keep that. But you can see the difference it made just with a simple click. We have a show original button right here. So if I was to click this, that's my before and that's my after. If I'm happy with that, which I am, that looks really good. These default settings will probably be just fine for most of your images that you try to run this against. But like I said, we'll come back and talk about what each of them do too. But when you like the result that you have, just click the Apply to Serial button. It'll prompt you that it is completed, and then you can close your script. And there's your original image with the HDR applied. So again, we can go before and then after. And let's zoom in just a little bit here so you can really see what's going on. So again, that's the before and that's the after. I mean, obviously the really bright areas are really benefited from this, but you can watch in some of the darker, softer areas as well. It's before and after. I mean, it's just really bringing out that detail for us. So let's go back. I'm going to undo this. We'll go back into the script again, and let's go over what these settings actually are doing for us. So the first one is the number of scales, and this specifies how many wavelets that the image is going to be decomposed into. It's similar to if you've ever used it under filters here, and we have the Atro's wavelets transform, and it does a similar thing. It doesn't work like the script does in its entirety, but if I was to execute this and it creates all of our layers here for us, then I can very slightly bump these up and get some different sharpening for the finer and the more coarse details. This is generally used more for like planetary stuff. You can use it for other things as well. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about wavelets. So 5 is a good starting number for it. As you take it down, that will be for more of the finer details in the image. And as you take that number up, more of the broader structures in your image. The compression is how it's going to compress the dynamic range in those bright areas within the scale structures. If you go all the way to the left, then you have less of an impact. If you go all the way to the right, there'll be more of an impact on that. So, and the mask gamma option is a mask that actually only affects the bright regions and protects the darker regions. So if you only want it to affect the brighter portions of the image, then you want to take this slider further over to the right and it'll focus more on the brighter sections. If you want it to only affect more of the darker sections, then the slider goes down over towards the left. So with those 3 settings, like I said, defaults work very, very well. But if you want to get in there and get more granular with some things, maybe you're trying to pull some data out, like I said, in the darker region, so you want to adjust your mask so it focuses more on the darker areas of the images, you have those options to play with up here. The last thing in here is the reset button. If you reset that, it takes these 3 settings back to their defaults. So it's pretty straightforward and simple to use. Let's take a look at a couple other images that I have just to give you some more examples. And this one is M82, the Cigar galaxy. I want to see if I can pull out more details within this galaxy. It works just the same. It's really a fantastic script. So again, we'll hit fit to preview. I'll zoom up on it a little bit, and we'll just go with the defaults, hit preview, see what we get. And just like that, we've all the contrast, additional details that were otherwise hidden. The data's there, just couldn't see it. Like I said, you like what you have in the preview, hit apply to Siril, and it throws it over in your main window, and you're off and running. One more, and this is probably the one everybody's thinking about. I know I was when I first was looking at that, is the Orion Nebula. Now, this is a wide field shot, obviously. I've got the flame and horse head in there too, but we're always after getting that trapezium, and it can be a pain, right? Too long of an exposure, and it gets blown out like it is in this image. But this script can help you with that. So we'll go back up in here and bring it back up again. I'll go with fit to preview, and we'll zoom in on Orion here so we can watch it as it happens. And once again, just hit preview. And look at that. I mean, that's just fantastic. Like I said, you could play with the settings too, maybe tweak them a little bit. Maybe we'll just take up the scales one more, see if that gives us a little bit better results. Yeah, I like that better. I think there's a little bit more contrast in there. Yeah, so I think that looks good. So again, apply to Siril, hit close, and we can zoom up over here, and we do a before and an after, and let's take a look and see what happened with the flame and horse head. So that's before, and that's after. I mean, look at the detail on the flame that came out from that. That's before, and that's after. Just awesome. And two, just so you know, I mean, so like I said, the image has to be stretched before you run the script, but after you run the script, once you start seeing some extra detail in your image, there's nothing wrong with coming in here and giving it a little bit of a bump in your stretches, or maybe applying a little bit of an S-curve to it. You know, you can still stretch the image further after you've pulled out that data that you were looking for. So absolutely okay to do something like that. I really love this script. So I'm going to go ahead and say, run this script against all your images. See what it gets you. Maybe it gives you better detail like we've seen here today. Maybe it doesn't do that much for your image at all, so it's not worth it. Or maybe it kind of takes it sideways a little bit, and there's just no more extra data in there for it to pull out to give it that high dynamic range. It's not going to hurt it, right? If you don't like what it's doing, just hit your undo button and you're back to where you started from. So like I said, really love this script. I'm going to be using this probably 99% of the time. So as always, let me know what you guys think. Any questions, drop them below. As always, thank you to all my members here on YouTube and on Buy Me a Coffee. I appreciate each and every one of you. Your donations, your monthly memberships, they really keep the channel going. Thank you to everybody that shares and recommends my channels to your friends and colleagues. That's also very much appreciated. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, tick the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos as they come out. That's a wrap for this one. We'll see you in the next video. Clear skies.